Okay, my friends, just a quick update on where we are. We got that last trade just about as perfect as it could have went, really. Um, as you remember, we can see where our stop entry is, or our short entry, at the 19,100. CPI data came in, as we thought, in our favour. Not as crazy as we thought it was going to be, but still, it was enough to kind of tip us over the edge. In all honesty, my take profit originally was at the 18.3. I lost a bit of my balls, if I'm honest with you, and I took profit around the 18,400. Still a really nice trade. We took just shy of $300. Puts our official account status at $922. So in terms of where we are from a P&L standpoint, we're looking quite good. So nearly 100% doubled up at this stage. As you remember, we started with $500. We're now at $922, which is really good. And the journey continues. What it does do, interestingly enough, is it puts us in a bit of a situation on how we want to continue the trading. So we're currently using a 20x leverage. Now, what that normally means is for whatever you're putting on, you essentially trading with 20 times the amount of whatever the native token is, and in this case, it's Bitcoin. Now, the moment we double up from $500 to $1,000, realistically, for us to still see the same kinds of returns, we can go 10x leverage, which gives us a lot more breathing space, but still allows us the same kinds of value because we're trading effectively with double the amount of money. So that's just something I need to think about at this moment in time. Now, the reaction to the CPI data was as expected. We possibly could have had more, but I think because we were so close to the expected, we were 0.1 away from what the forecast was. Still not great in terms of the economy. However, we can still see what's going on now. We are just over 15 minutes away from the New York Stock Exchange opening up. Now, obviously, we can't. Usually, before the stock exchange opens up, we don't see any institutional trades, and my feeling is we'll see further reaction coming off the back of this. Sorry, just bear with me 1 second. So, what do we do? Well, we want to get back into a trade, that's for sure. But I want a better entry. Right now, if we go to the 1 hour, we are massively oversold. So I'm expecting at some point some sort of reversion. However, normally, if you've followed these sessions before, when we massively overshoot the 20 on the MFI, it tends to mean further momentum in that same direction. So I do expect us to continue on the low. It's just trying to get a better entry. So, we haven't got long before we get that reversion or continued downside action. So it's a tricky one to trade, if I'm completely honest. My mind's telling me to kind of stay on the sidelines on this one. Let the open occur, and then see what happens at that. You kind of let the first half an hour settle down at the brink session. Take the win. We're in good shape, and then kind of settle it down a little bit. Let the oversold position come back into play, and then try and get a better entry. Even though I expect further downside, you just don't know what's going to happen because whether the market maker decides to try and go for value and bring up the get better entry levels, so essentially provide more longs before the shorts come in. That I hate to do that because I kind of feel like you get trapped. So that's why I'm kind of at this moment where I'm thinking, what's the best way to play this? I'm just at the moment bringing up Bookmap just because I want to see what our levels look like. Let me have a quick look. I'll share this with you in a second. Okay. Let us scoot over to Bookmap. Let me just make that change. So looking at Bookmap, yeah, we've got a really solid line here of liquidity, 764, around this 18,370 maybe. So that could be a potential entry. Let me just bring this down a bit further. I'm just watching how this kind of plays out a little bit. You can just see that liquidity getting soaked up. When we're seeing these delta bubbles, these green and red bubbles, by the way, they are market orders, where they're happy to just pay the spread. And as the heat map gets darker in red, yeah, that's a build-up of entries for limit orders. So you can see right now we've got 380, 390 limit or Bitcoin, or 400 Bitcoin in that kind of 18,250 mark, which is preventing, if you like, the price going down further, because these are all buy orders. I'm just kind of sensing out what the narrative is at the moment, so bear with me while I kind of just see how things are being reacted to. You can see where the liquidity's residing. This is essentially where the recent low is. 17.6, 17.5, 17.6, 17.7, around that kind of area. And I honestly believe that's where we're going. It's just trying to predict where we get a better entry. Now, if you look, we've got an awful lot of liquidity being built as a short around this. I'd probably say it's 18,300. Let me just see if we can zoom in. I'm just trying to figure out where we want to go in for that entry. It's right here, and this liquidity's been here for quite some time as well. So that looks like a good place to maybe think about getting in. So let's just see exactly what that 1830. So it's 1825. Sorry, yeah, 18,325. So I'd probably be looking around the 18,320 for my next position. It's just when the market opens up, you just don't know how it's going to react. Right now, we're slightly trading above the VWAP, which is good for value if you're shorting. Nothing screaming out to me. Really, what you want to see is like over 1,000 Bitcoin, 1,200 Bitcoin, 1,500 Bitcoin. That's a sign of strength in terms of where you want to be potentially looking at where the change in the direction of the market would be. So potentially if that was like the 1,200, 1,500 Bitcoin, you want to see it approach this, absorb that liquidity, and then go back down. You can see even the majority of traders keep on changing their minds. This was at 700 Bitcoin. It's being pulled and then changed, and yeah, it's just a challenging time to be getting in. But we do trade on leverage of 20x. That gives us a lot of wiggle room. So how do we look further up? and we are, you know, below the VWAP. I think we may come up to tag the VWAP. Yeah, let's go with it. I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna go with a short entry around this 18,340, 18,350 mark. Okay, well, that's it for this one. Quick update. Back in, but you know, really flying. You know, we had our first loss on our first trade. Second trade was around, I think it was $190, 100, yeah, something like that. $190 put us right back in the green, and then we've just had a near $300 improvement on that as well. So 3 trades in, first loss, 2 wins, nearly doubled up so far, which is good. And we continue the journey. So without further ado, I'm going to go and get my trade inputted ready. I'm 9 minutes away, and yeah. Let's see some fire. You know, maybe a better entry is this 18,500. You can see this slowly. This is starting to be built. You know, maybe we might get this. Maybe we might get this initial pump up from the market maker to try and build up as short to the downside. Bit of kidology for the market. Is anything a bit further up? No, 18,500 seems to be a better position. Here's the thing: if we don't, what I always say is, if you don't hit the trade and you've got an order in, to not hit it, to not make money, is better than to lose money ultimately. So you know, we have a plan. If it doesn't come off, at least we haven't lost any money. I think sometimes to get in at such a tight space is risky because of the market. So I think I'm probably going to go around the 18,500 just because I don't know how the start's going to be. But you know, if I was looking to snipe, I'd be looking around this kind of area between the 18,350 and 18,400. That's where there's a fair amount of liquidity. But we can see a snap reaction as soon as that market opens against the news. So you know, I do believe we're looking at further downside. It's just trying to get that better entry level for the initial snap. So, right, I'm going to get off and get my trades inputted. I'm going for the 18,500 based on Bookmap and where the liquidities reside. And we've seen this being filled up now again. It's just gone from around the kind of 380 Bitcoin to 400. So it seems like the majority of trades are starting to favor this kind of area. So, yeah, I'll probably try and maybe ping in tonight and give an update and see how we went on with that. So Apex the Grey, over and out. Speak to you soon.